Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. Now, we had Deku. We also had his group. Izuku was dealing with quite a few things, however, personally. He confided in Setsuna why he was called the Anomaly, and somebody else overheard. Izuku was a bleeding heart. He had Ochako break up with him, and he had a lot going through his mind. And they came to talk with Izuku. One thing led to another, and they woke up in his bed the next morning. Tokage came to try and talk to Izuku, and he was supposed to be on guard duty. However, after last night, she doesn't blame him for sleeping in just a bit. But Deku, he left the manor shortly after he got on post and went to go check out the traps. Meanwhile, Bakugo and his group, they were coming back to the manor after discovering one of the paths to the hive at the safe zone. This massive hole that was in the ground turned out to be a tunnel made from what looked to be flesh. It was like looking at the inside of a blood vessel. They'd be the infection, while everything else would be the white blood cells, the things that come after them. I mean, it's a little scary when you really think about it that way. Now, Izuku, he came back to the manor after Bakugo's group picked him up and brought him back. And while they were all currently trying to figure out what to do with this new information, this actual concrete evidence, they've got to figure that out. If they can take down the hive, they can take down this unknown entity, take out a source of zombies, and maybe do something. I mean, zombies go back to the hive, and somehow they change, they mutate, they get different. They don't fully understand it. And Izuku, he feels like it's time to come clean about a lot of things. He's aware that there's something at the center of the city. He's aware it exists. He knows it exists. And it's time that he does finally face a bit of facts. All Might has been trying to lead him to the center of the city. He points in directions, sometimes even the center of the city. Whenever he gets closer and closer, things get weirder and weirder. There's something there that wants him. And maybe that's why that one deceiver attacked the manor. But if that's the case, then how is he supposed to handle that? Now, currently the group would pull up, and everyone, they do begin to walk inside. Currently Bakugo having a lot running through his head as he would step in. Currently, Kendo going to actually try and follow him. And Izuku, he does to walk up. Currently, him going to set down his spear, but still keeping the rifle on him. Him walk up the stairs as Tokage would turn, asking about exactly what the hell is going on. And everyone, they do begin to move. Currently, Nejire goes to sit there and turn, asking about who's on watch as you go to turn back, looking out and not seeing anything. And everyone, they do go to walk inside. Currently, someone just going to sit there and turn, grabbing the weapon and holding it up. Right now, her thinking about quite a few things. And this, it does somewhat annoy her, because she got stuck with this freaking job. Now, she does have a lot going through her mind, and currently Deku, him and the group headed inside. And Bakugo, he was being a little bit more hysterical, talking about it. It's actually fucking real. They actually know it's there. They actually have a way to prove it to people. I mean, this is big. This is really big. And currently the group, they do have a lot going on. Bakugo, having everybody gather together. Nedry's on watch, and Hatsume and Melissa are currently working on a few other projects. And currently, Izuku does stand there, and Bakugo does go over it. Currently, him turning to Izuku, as all of them sit in the room. Him trying to tell Deku that they need to handle this damn threat. They need to figure it all out. They need to head in and do this. Handle whatever it is. Find as much gas as they can and take it down. And Izuku, he will gonna walk over. Him gonna tell Bakugo. He needs to calm down. Don't tell me what to do, Izuku. Listen, you don't understand what the fuck I just saw. I got an idea. What do you mean? Did you hear any sound? What? No. It was just this mass of flesh that was just pulsating. It was unnerving. It was warm and I could feel it moving on my hand. It was. I didn't know how deep it went. I didn't head in. Right. It was pulsating? Yeah, no. Almost like it had a heartbeat. That is a good description. It's accurate. Okay. We gotta talk to the other groups. We do. I'll agree with you on that. But Bakugo, just listen. No, this is important. If we can take them down, we might be able to get back our city. Right? I mean, destroy the hive, burn it, whatever. The infection stops mutating. We can handle what we have now and just deal with the regular infected. Most of them have mutated and turned into those goddamn creatures. We already got to deal with those fucking spiders and some of the ones that we've seen fly. But honestly, this could be better. How could it be better? You're saying it's not? No, Bakugo, I'm saying you don't see the whole picture. Listen, I'm gonna tell everyone here in this room something, and it's gonna freak all of you out. Okay? Izuku going to begin, expressing to all of them. He's a little different. There's a reason why the military were so gun-ho. And some people remember the guy called him Special. The guy they were torturing. Everyone's staring at Deku. And as Izuku does a look around the room, some people avert their gaze. All of the Ochako looking down, not wanting to look Izuku directly in the eye. However, Deku, we're gonna turn. Currently Setsuna staring at Izuku and not really saying anything. Because Izuku, he's about to confess to all of them what's going on with him. And he did talk about a few things. Some of them did make sense. Some didn't. And Deku does gotta tell everyone. Before UA, he was quirkless. Whenever he got into UA and he saved Ochako from the zero pointer, he showed off he had a quirk. All of his life he was quirkless. However, 10 months before the entrance exams, All Might began to train him. And a week before, well, UA started, the day of the exams, he took on a quirk that same morning. After that, he just tried to be a hero. And they all know what happened on the first day. He didn't even have a quirk for a week, and the world came to an end. But ever since then, weird things have happened. Ever since he went close to the city's heart, he doesn't know. That statement feels a little bit more literal. It feels a lot more scary. There is something out there that wants him. He's felt it before. He's gotten strong feelings about it. And everyone, they do go to stare at Deku. Him even talking about it. The deceiver that attacked the manor came here because it followed him from the heart. Him and Tetsuna ran into one whenever the military had them. Though, the fact that one came all the way out here was odd. He thought about it as sometimes, but he just pushed the thought out of his mind. He's not special. Though maybe there is something more to this. He just doesn't know. And Bakugo, he does a step forwards, bring his hand up, and would actually grab Deku by his shirt. And Izuku would bring his hand up. Right now him, grab Bakugo, and gonna actually bring up his hand, bring up a knife. Currently, everyone watching as Deku holds up to Bakugo's throat. And Bakugo, he's a stare at Deku. The two glaring back at each other, as he would gracefully let Izuku go, and Deku would pull back the knife. He didn't mean to draw it, though it's just a bit more of instinct at this point to get ready to handle the threat. Right. He's at home. He's not in danger. Not yet. You're saying that you're immune. I'm not saying anything, Bakugo. I've been bitten. I've been hurt. I haven't used my quirk. But you're saying there's a chance you have your power. Oh my god. So every time we've been in danger, you could have done something to help yourself. No. No? Are you fucking serious? Kirishima used his quirk. And what happened to him? This is not about Kirishima. No, it isn't. But I'm saying, look what happened to him. He still turned. He was going to turn. He just shut up. Don't talk about him that way. I know. He seems like a good guy. But I don't know what will happen to me if I use my quirk. And I'm not willing to test that theory out. You are scared. Yes, I am. Scared of becoming a monster? You already are a monster, jackass. Have you looked in the mirror? Let me guess. You're hiding more information. You're not telling us the whole story. What else are we not aware of? I know certain things. I hear certain things. Tosanori Yagi was All Might's real name. I know it for some reason. I can't think of why. I also see him. So you're hallucinating. I don't know what I'm doing. I can hear him, see him, though it's a bit weird. Deku turning his head, getting that strange sensation in his mind, the one that lets him know that it's happening again. He feels like that there's eyes on him. And Deku would return. Everyone watching Izuku look towards the window, and Deku just stare a little confused. Him staring at somebody else. Somebody who looks like a female. A woman made of fire. Her bringing her hand up, and currently pointing out at the city. And this does somewhat confuse Izuku. And Deku, he'll get a turn. Him with a worried look on his face, along with it even hearing a few other voices. Them trying to reach out and tell him, all for. Deku turning his head and looking around. And everyone, they are at least somewhat talking to themselves. And Bakugo does stare at Deku. Deku looked away. He began to scan the room, try and see a few things. But Izuku is a bit more concerned. For some reason, that woman, No, no. Who was that? Mom? Was that his mom? Why is he seeing her? But that voice wasn't hers. It was someone else's. Deku having it go through his mind. And Bakugo, we're gonna step forwards. We're now him pressing Izuku and talking about how, so apparently he's in a later stage then. Can he even talk about it? How can they even actually trust him? Currently Bakugo turning to the group and trying to tell them all that they need Izuku to prove it. Prove for a fact he's not infected. And Izuku, he doesn't what stare on. Currently, Todoroki and Kendo stepping forwards. And they do to talk about it. Izuku should prove he's still human. What did they say? Stage 2 can take months, right? So, what's wrong then? And right now, this is where Setsuna will just won't step up, talking about it. Okay. They should probably just stop. Listen, Izuku, he was called the anomaly. She was there for it. There's a reason why they want him alive. And everyone, they do turn to her. And Bakugo, of course, she's backing him up. Of course, she is on his side. She's always in his corner, right? And that, it does somewhat annoy Bakugo. And there currently is outside, where we do actually have Nejire, who, she saw something in the distance. Right now, her bringing up the rifle and aiming the scope. Her going to see something, drive up to the gate, and immediately stop. As currently, there is a military vehicle sitting outside. And Nejire immediately does a jump up. Her turning and going to actually activate her radio. The men at the gate walking over and going to kill some of the zombies who are there. And Nejire, she immediately has her voice blast on everyone's radio, yelling about how there are people outside and they brought Humvees. And it doesn't look too good here. Currently Deku turning to Bakugo. And Bakugo, he has a stare at Deku. One of the two looking at each other as Bakugo will get a turn. Deku doing the same thing and talking about it. They need to be ready for anything. And Bakugo, we're going to say, they need to talk. And this does want to annoy people. Deku turning to Bakugo, telling him he's the leader here. Let him know you're not. Bakugo, if these people find out any of us are here, things are not going to be good. If they see me, if they see you, then what? They kill all of us? That's why let me handle them. Just cover me. Alright? I can do that, yeah. Sounds like a plan. Though, Setsuna, they're gonna turn. Talking about it. Back him up on this. Her nodding her head as Deku gonna turn, telling Bakugo, if he sees any sign of anything, raise his left hand, and he'll put a bullet through their heads. Though, raise his right hand if things are okay. Does he got that? Currently Bakugo going to head out. And there actually is with the men at the front gate, they just sat there. They saw something in the distance. And they know somebody must be inside. I mean, some of their groups have talked about another group. The people on the outskirts. They've lived in the city, but they also scavenge from outside. How does that whole thing work? From what they understand, either these people have moved outside the city recently, or they've been here for some time but head in. And they do their own thing. And currently, this is where Bakugo and his group do come walking down the road. Currently, him staying there with Todoroki, Jiro, Kendo, Ochako, and, well, Tamaki. Right now, all of them staying there with weapons in their hands as Bakugo gonna step forwards. Him dressed in armor and holding on to a weapon. Him asking what they're doing here. And the man would express, right, listen. Currently, him and some of his people going to step out. And Bakugo does it a watch on. These people are also heavily armed. And there's a few of them. There's guys, girls, there's some people here younger. And then there's a girl right there. Her with blonde hair and smiling. And currently that does catch his attention. There are people here that are younger than him. He's the oldest. His beard is going gray. And, well, he looks like he's here for a reason. And this, it does surprise Bakugo, though he might know why. There is a big reason, sitting in their driveway. And the man does begin to talk. And currently there acts as Izuku, who would gonna get onto the roof and put down the rifle. Right now him going to lower the bipod and going to actually set it up. Him staying there and going to actually pull back the slide. Him chambering around and going to talk about it. Right now him looking through the scope and seeing the men. And there's a few of them. But none of their mugs Deku notices, recognizes, and this does surprise him. And Setsuna would have set down her rifle. Right now her leaning it on the building and using her hand to steady it. As Izuku, he does go to talk about it. So what? Nothing, I was thinking about last night. Because if you're going to try and ask me out right now is not the best idea. No, just thanks for having my back in there. No worries. Though we have a problem. What is it? I know one of those guys. And, well, I think he worked with a doctor. I don't know. Listen, it's just his face is familiar. But he's wearing a helmet, so it could be somebody else. I don't know. I don't have a clear view. Currently, Deku going to bring his hand up and beep his radio. And Bakugo, he just don't stand there. His radio going to beep as he's going to bring his hand down and turn it off. Him expressing, right, they must be here for the Humvee then. What makes you say that? A few things. Though, I'm assuming that you're responsible for that one man. The one man. So you know where that boy is, don't you? He's dead. Ooh, you kill him? Because you see, I was hoping to get to do that. No, we didn't. We found him. He wasn't doing too good. He was turned, and we used what we could to escape the area. Really? Yeah. He deserved a burial, but we don't really know. We don't bury people who are outsiders, so we cremated him. Awfully nice of you. Though I don't smell a fire. Well, we didn't do it inside our territory. We took him far out. Did it there. We used gasoline. Let it burn fast. And just went away. Not really a lot of time to bury someone. It's not safe. Sure, kid. Sure. Listen, we don't really care what you did with the little shit. All we care about is knowing his, well, let's just say status. You're saying he's dead, so I'll take your word for it. Though we want that Humvee back. And how do we know it's actually yours? Wearing the uniform, aren't I? Alright, kid, I see that you're skeptical. Cold shoulder much? Not a lot of trust in people. We've had incidents. I'm sure you have. Listen, do you kids need doctors? Any help, any medicine, anything like that? Listen, we'll trade you for it. Fact of the matter is, we'll even turn on some of the power, if you want to play ball. Power? Currently with the men turning their head and staring directly at Deku. And Izuku, he does gonna bring his finger down to the trigger. Him about to get ready, as Setsuna would have someone stare on. And the moment that guy looked both of their directions, she got a little queasy. Right now her hand's gonna start to shake as she does actually bring her finger back and away. Her gripping onto the rifle and gritting her teeth, trying to maintain her calm. If she overreacts here, someone is going to die. Someone of their group. And this is not good. Bucko bringing his right hand up, and the moment he does, the man will get a turn. Him looking at Bucko as he would turn his head slightly and see the glint of the rifles on the building. A lot more aware as to why Bucko and his group came down here so ready. The firefight they might have had, it would be bad, but he could feel like his people could survive. Bucko's group might get shredded, and well, they'd suffer some injuries. But 2 snipers on the roof. Smart call. Listen, we'll give you whatever you need. We'll even give you a discount on the power. How about that? You don't gotta pay for 2 months. Sweet deal, really. We're trying to get everybody to play ball. And whenever they do, it'll be simple. But that's the thing that's hard. And if we don't have it be simple, it's gonna get worse. Besides, you seem like you guys got a lot to offer. Some of that craftsmanship looks a little too complex. Yeah, we have somebody for that. Really? That looks homemade. Good homemade. What else can you guys make? We'll keep that to ourselves. Do you make ammo? How about I just not say? Kid, I'm trying to help you out here. Y'all need doctors. And as far as I'm aware, without them, you might all die. Trust me, you'll want one. Especially if your group encounters some things that it can't handle. Or if somebody here is injured beyond your capabilities. We already have a doctor. Kid, don't bullshit a bullshitter. I'm not. We have somebody who helped me before. Reason why I'm still standing here. Still standing? Good for you. Though, gotta ask, what happened? A lot happened. I lost a front. Apologies. I don't want your apology. I want you to leave. Listen, I'm just saying. We can turn back on the power. Don't you want that? Besides, it's hard enough to work through the day. The night, it's simpler. Though, it's still more dangerous. We can make it safer. All you gotta do, kid, is work with us. And we can work with you. Help keep the city safe and get it back on track. I mean, hell, I didn't even mention the water yet. Everyone looking at each other. The water, geothermal power, the dam. It's a hell of a good power system. Along with that, provides fresh water, drinking water for everybody. Even hot water. Did I mention the best part about turning on the power? Water heaters work again. You can plug everything you want into it. Hell, Give it some time, and you might not even realize the end of the world happened whenever you're held up in your house safe, playing your games or listening to music. How about that? You want that again? We can make that happen. That's something. Internet will be back up. Limited, but up. Alright? Certain things we still need to fix. But once we get that back under control, information can be reached well. We can learn quite a lot. Look at records and find more food. Head out there and figure out what we can do. Our group can do a lot for you, kid. All of you kids. We can help you. I'm going to turn and yell out for Himiko to stand here now. Her stepping forwards and going to hold up her weapon. Then I'm going to turn, expressing. This girl here was a part of a group they brought in. When they found her, she was starved. When they found her, she was not doing well. Fact is, one of their groups found her hiding and eating out of a trash can to survive. Though now, she's well fed and on their side. Along with that, she knows her way around the human body. She's their medic. So, if they want help, if they want anything, come join them. Trade with them and work with them. They can all do this. The apocalypse doesn't just affect them. Keep that in mind. Everyone has their own situations going on. Untold stories. And Bakugo, he's trying to be careful of this man's silver tongue. And currently Bakugo going to bring his right hand up and then going to bring his left hand down to his radio. I'm going to turn it on. Turning, I'm going to walk through everybody. I'm trying to ask Izuku about a few things. And Deku, he does begin to hear about it. The guy is bringing up a bit of a good point. And after Bakugo lays it all out for Izuku, he can see the advantage. But he can also see the disadvantage. Give these guys more resources, more power to lord over them. If they get the internet back, they can do quite a bit. Yes, it will be a vital piece of information. Though, there's a problem. They don't know what sort of limited capacity it'll be up at. I mean, it's supposed to be an endless realm of data. But most of that data either isn't activated or doesn't have enough power to turn on. Getting those servers and systems back up would take months at the most. This guy's lying. He might tell the truth in some sort of capacity, but a half-assed lie is still a lie. Well, not even a lie, a half-truth. And that's the most dangerous kind. And this, it doesn't worry Bakugo. Izuku here is talking rationally, and that he doesn't like. When he's the rational one, shit tends to end in a bloodbath. And currently, he does gotta try and think. He could step up and make a decision. He could agree to all this, hand over the Humvee, and, well, they could. Yeah, no. He's gonna step up as leader. The Humvee is going back to these guys. 2 months of power. That gives them time. Time to plan and time to do things. Right. No. Wait. He's gonna get shit from Izuku. I'm gonna turn and tell somebody something as he went to go whisper into their ear. And they were a bit more surprised, asking if they should try and run that through to Deku. And the man would return, a lot more aware of the situation, because Bakugo isn't this group's leader, even though he's trying to act like it. And currently Deku, he does sit there on the roof, the man smirking. And this does mean quite a bit. Currently Bakugo is going to turn, trying to tell somebody about what they should do. And everybody, they're a bit more confused. Though the idea of power being back up, it's good. And there actually is where Todoroki will gonna bring his hand down into his radio. Him asking Izuku, not saying him by name, but just calling him Deku, that they're gonna hand over the Humvee to this one guy. And when they do, they'll have 2 months of free trade. Or at the very least, freedom to not pay them a toll. And Izuku, he's annoyed, yelling back not to hand over the Humvee. And this, it does surprise the man on the other end of that line. He's seeing resistance. He doesn't like it. This fence is preventing them from just going in there themselves and taking that damn Humvee. If they open it up, it'll take time. The moment they make a move towards it, shit. The Mango Express, 3 months. 3 months? Yes. How about that? We need it to fight what's out there. Funny. I was going to say we might need it. We discovered something at the safe zone. What? The safe zone. There's a tunnel there. I found it earlier today. It's horrifying to look at. And it's worse to think about. Listen, me and my group were thinking about torching it. See what we can do there. Really? I'll have to report that back. We've been meaning to find something like that. Study it more. We've had some incidents before. This one could be new. Could be good. We might get more data. And that certainly is something interesting. I'm gonna turn. Someone's gonna try and say to himself, the doctor will definitely like that. Him turning to Toga. And Bakugo hears that phrase, the doctor. And this, it does have him a bit more concerned. Currently, him will actually turn around and personally walk over to the Humvee himself. Bakugo making his way there quickly and driving it over for them to hand over. And this, it does annoy Deku. Bakugo knows he can't head down there himself. If his description was given out by the doctor, they're looking for somebody who matches it. And as far as he's aware, black and green hair is a pretty unique combo in this town. Especially nowadays. So yeah, Bakugo is working outside of his action. And these men go to leave. Them a lot more aware of what they did. And this, it does somewhat annoy them. And there currently is with a man, he would have somewhat climb into the Humvee. Right now him turning his head and sniffing the air. Because something smells off about this. That smells like liquor. Whatever. Him gonna turn, staring at the alcohol stain on the hood. Him rolling down the window and expressing to the guy that they'll be back in a few days. Maybe if they could, they can trade ammo or even medicine. Hell, if they even got more alcohol, they're willing to trade for that. They've been going through their supplies rather fast. And this, it does mean quite a bit. Currently, Bakugo turning to Momo, and she just won't step forwards, expressing that this house has plenty alcohol. And then it just won't smile. Currently, him turning his head and, oh shit, him bringing his hand down, grabbing up a wine bottle and going to actually bring his hand up. Him going to actually pull off the cork and stare at it. Before we're going to take a sip. And it's pretty damn, it's alright, but it's no scotch. Right now him going to bring his hand down and put it into first gear. driving the Humvee away. And this does mean quite a bit. The group gonna leave. And currently everybody, they do just stare at Bakugo. And there actually is Deku, who made his way downstairs where Bakugo came down here. This was not good. And currently Nejire does this one sit there as Deku does some walking out angry, balling his hands into fist. And Bakugo, he does come walking back up. Right now him and Deku staring each other down. And Deku, whenever Bakugo does come walking towards him, he doesn't mean gonna throw his left hand out. Bakugo going to turn and be sucker punched across the face. And Deku would watch Bakugo fly backwards and go to someone bring his hand down. Him going to get ready. And Bakugo, he doesn't bring his hands up. Right now him getting a bit more in a fighting stance and yelling at Deku about how he is not the damn leader. He'll take the spot. And Deku stares at Bakugo, turning it to everybody and asking if they put it up to a vote. And everyone, they stare at Bakugo. Right now him turning his head, and he does look at their faces. Him going to actually bring his hand up, as Deku going to say, he's voting against handing over the military vehicle with the machine gun on it to the military. So, who else is in favor? Bakugo watching, and currently people do begin to put their hands up. And this does mean quite a bit. Now, Deku could express, and who thinks it's a good idea to hand over the Humvee to the military, who might not even turn on the goddamn power or water? And Bakugo would watch. Currently, oh, that's not good. Bakugo, you just handed over a pawn. You are many things, but I thought you know about being a bully. When they get something, they come back. You always did. Alright? Listen, Izuku. I'm going to turn. And Deku will step forwards, bring his foot up, and kicking Bakugo right in the nuts. Bakugo is a lot more alarmed as he doesn't fall forwards. And Izuku, he was just going to smack Bakugo across the face. Bakugo falling to the ground as Deku does a turn, walking over and telling Bakugo, he never played fair. He never played by the rules. Does he want to know why? Deku bending down and bring his hand up, grabbing Bakugo by the throat, telling him, because he never made rules. Whenever he wanted to be a bully, he always came back. He always wanted more. He always demanded more. If they hand more shit over to them without getting something back, then it's going to show they are pushovers. He's trying to get into their good graces, but these people aren't good. They're not like what he's thinking they are. He read through the journal he found at that damn camp. And does he want to know what he found? Records of butchery. Records that show that place went to hell before winter. Personnel got infected, and they went crazy. People got hurt. A lot of people got hurt. And those, well, things, they stopped being human. Deku letting go of Bakugo, and someone gonna back up. Bring his hand down his Bakugo, he is still trying to recover his breath. And Deku holds his hand out telling him, the crazies, he got a bit more of an insight to their mind because of that damn book. They hear things, see things. And it's more than that. They deal with their own personal demons. They lose themselves to them. And that's what he's got. There's an entire record in that book about a man shouting for his family. And it's so, it breaks your heart reading it. He's talking about his wife and daughter and he's begging for them. He's begging his wife to just wait for him. He'll be home soon, and everything will be okay. It's okay. But it wasn't okay. Does Bakugo get that? Does Bakugo even understand anything about this? Bakugo thinks now is a good time to just sit down and stand by, not be the bully. But that's the problem. Where the hell was the Bakugo Katsuki he knew in middle school? Because if he saw what he turned into, he would be disappointed. And Bakugo, he just won't stand up. Him smacking Deku's hand away and getting to his feet. Right now him going to put his hands up as Deku will go to back up. Currently, him and Bakugo staying there with their hands up. And this does somewhat concern everyone. Right now Nejire and Kendo stepping in front of everybody and trying to stop these two. Nejire bringing her hands up telling Izuku that maybe he really shouldn't do that. Besides, they're still talking about that one thing, right? I mean, they were trying to discuss the tunnel? Yeah, Izuku's special. Apparently he knows more than he lets on. Deku gonna turn, telling Bakugo that's not what he meant. Besides, he knows it. What's happening right now is simple. They gotta deal with the military or the hive. And he has a plan forming. He just needs to write a few things down and go through it in his head. I'm gonna turn and currently going to walk away. And Bakugo does still stand there with his hands up. Him annoyed, pissed off. Deku got him back in that mind state. Fight or die. And it just felt strange. He put back on that one facade. He tried to be angry, get angry, but he just felt concerned. He's worried about those people. With the lights on, they'll have an advantage. If they do turn on, they'll have an advantage. Though, Izuku does have a point on a few things. He doesn't want to admit it, though. If he admits it, Izuku wins. And he honestly can't bring himself to that. Now, Deku, he does head back into the manor. And right now, he does go to pour himself something to drink and go to use that satellite phone to make a phone call. He's got a few to make. Some people need to meet up, head out. They need to agree on one location, and one location only. If their groups all meet up and talk, they can plan how to take on the military. Use a targeted strike. Attack, a plan, some form of deception. Just put their own people in charge of the power and water. And once that's said and done, it should be easy. It should be better. It should be more manageable. They'll be free of their influence, and as long as they all work together and keep things steady, the power station, as they can call it, is up and running. And things are good for all of them. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a challenge, definitely, but hey, who said surviving was easy? Now, Deku and his group do begin to talk to others, and this does slightly concern them. Right now, a girl walking down the hallway and currently stopping at Deku's door. Her turning and opening it up, walking to the room and asking Izuku if he's okay, because the two, they might need to talk. And Deku, he'll get his own turn. Him mouthing the words he knows to them, turning back to the person and expressing, right, so, no, if that group has control of gas, a lot of it, then they've got to figure a few things out. Though, there is one place he does know. It's a little close, but as far as he's aware on the map, it's a little easy for everybody. It's a place his group does know. If it's still safe, they can fortify it. And if it's not, then there's a new building that they can head to. During the winter, one of those buildings they cleared out. They tried to reestablish. But, well, that's their own place. This other one, however, it's a little bit more complicated there. There's a few things his team never recovered there either. And with all of them, it should be okay. He doesn't believe that the Winter Beast is there anymore. And the girl will get don't stare at Deku because he gave that thing a name. That one odd creature. Now, while that currently is happening, we do cut over to the Hive. And the Hive, it is still burying its claws into everything. Burying its, well, fleshy little tendrils everywhere. And currently something, it does it to crawl out of the pit. Right, it going to do so, and then going to someone sit there. Trying to gain its bearing on how it feels. Gain its bearing on everything. And it feels alive. It feels well. And currently it does go sit there. Its hair falling in front of its face as it does bring its hands down and goes on stand. But we're going to look down at its hands and just going to close them into fist, opening them back up and closing them again. It doesn't understand. What is happening? Their memory is strange. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.